button has been clicked, which means we are officially going live, waiting for confirmation.
Should be just a second.
Streaming status, Al, engaged.
We are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and Twitch is almost all set.
Awesome.
Are we allowed to curse?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we don't typically care.
Go for it.
If it's getting super out of hand, I'm just gonna blush. That's your cue to stop.
All right, we are live on all
Upsetting
three.
my delicate sensibilities. Thank you, Al.
Yep.
Why? There we go.
I'm the one that asked the questions, Greg.
What's wrong, Grandpa?
I can't figure out. I was just trying to share the show so all my friends and grandma can see it.
I just, in that voice, I'm imagining Craig on his own computer holding up a tablet to record what he's doing so he can then share it with other people. Yeah.
45
Oh,
seconds.
it worked, Craig.
I did it. I figured it out.
Good job, Grandpa.
We are so proud of you.
I bet you know how to use a printer too.
I do. It takes
You know,
me
that
a
was
while,
one
but-
time and it wasn't printing, it was formatting, Al.
30 seconds, Chris.
Thank you, Al.
And per the usual, dead silence.
Absolutely. That's how we like it here on the show. We don't want our contestants to sound like they're having fun.
And 10
Not,
seconds.
not here, not now, ever. Thank you, 10 seconds.
Listen, I'm just trying to figure out how this works.
5,
Well, you-
4,
See anyone.
3.
There you are.
You'd better figure it out quick, Craig, if you want to know why.
Why?
You all want to know why? Well, I will tell you why. Because it's Tuesday night, your arm is starting to get some of its feeling back, and you can finally watch Party of Five reruns without feeling like it's a health risk. This is Quarantine! Yeah, it's okay. We don't have to lose that magic just because the audience can't see us. All right, hello, and welcome everybody once again to Quarantine, the game show that forces its contestants to literally square off. My name is Chris Iannucci, and I am so thrilled to be your host for a wonderful show that we have planned for you this evening, featuring two amazing sketch comedy teams who are here to provide some entertainment for you on this wonderful Tuesday night. And let's meet them right now. First off, joining us for their first appearance here on Quarantine, the game show, we have the wonderful trio that comprises the Tragic School Bus. And tonight, playing for the Tragic School Bus, give a big wave for the folks at home, we have Natalie, we have Matt, and we have Colby. And Tragic School Bus, thank you so much for joining us tonight. How are the three of you feeling?
Oh.
So good.
Pumped, so good, and awesome, and all those wonderful things. Well, we look forward to seeing what you have in store for us this evening. But first, let's move over to your opponents tonight, your fellow contestants, and they are no strangers to Quarantine, but do they have the chops to win? Let's meet the half-hour radio hour, and tonight playing for the half-hour radio hour, we have Megan, we have Craig, and we have Kendall. And half-hour radio hour, what's going on? We haven't seen you in a little bit. How are things?
You're all right.
Right.
That wasn't coordinated or anything. Well, we are always glad to see your smiling faces here on the show this evening. And speaking of the show this evening, we couldn't do a show this evening if it wasn't for our amazingly talented man behind the scenes, my brother, our tech guru, Mr. Al Iannucci. Al, how are you?
Doing good, Chris. How are you today?
I'm doing excellent as always. It's always a pleasure to see you here.
Always good to see you.
What's new? You having a fun week, a solid week?
Yeah.
I noticed your test pattern up behind you. I hope you're not having any technical issues again this week.
Nope, this is only a test. Just constantly trying to improve.
And improve you always do. We love everything that you do here for us on the show, and we appreciate it so much, and we will check in with you later on.
Perfect. Good luck,
tonight.
teams.
All right. Well, for those of you who are watching at home who have never seen our show before, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. We know you're going to have a fantastic time. But in case you're sitting there wondering to yourself, well, how does this gosh darn thing work? Well, I'm going to explain it to you because in front of me, we have a series of wonderfully handcrafted artisanal trivia questions that our staff here at Quarantine the Game Show has provided for our two teams. Now, we're going to ask these questions to them and give them roughly 60 seconds to see if they, as a team, can come up with the correct answer. If they get the question right, they get the points. If they get the question wrong, or if they run out of time, it means that the other team has a chance to steal for half the amount of points. Now, along the way, we have also cooked up some fun games for our two teams to play, and we're going to see if we can launch those at them and throw them off their course, but we'll deal with those as we get to them. And most importantly tonight, we're going to be looking for you, yes, you, our wonderful audience at home, to jump in the chat and help us out by giving us either suggestions of prompts or voting for which team you think did the best job to give them some additional points. Starting right now with our first audience get of the evening. So get those fingers ready because we're going to be looking for some suggestions from you, our wonderful audience. Here's what we need from you. We need the title of a painting that doesn't exist. So we will leave that up to your discretion. Could be vague, could be specific, could be detailed, could be abstract. Whatever you think it might be, but give us the name of a painting that does not exist. So get those fingers moving, throw that in the chat, and we're going to pull our best suggestions from the audience and see what we can do with those a little bit further on down the line. But for right now, let's get into our first category of the evening. Now, it was reported on CNN a few days ago that as of this month, of just this year alone, 2021, Customs and Border Patrol have reported almost 20 million confiscated counterfeit masks since the beginning of the year, 20 million already, and it's only March. Now, these masks, most of them are actually counterfeit N95 masks that they purport to have some sort of health benefits to them, but because they aren't actually verified or certified as N95 masks, people might be wearing the wrong thing on their face. And a lot of times it's hard to tell the difference between a real or a fake, but other times it's actually pretty easy if you just take a close look. Well, there's a few things that have been counterfeited or forged throughout history that were a lot harder to spot the difference of. And we are going to quiz our contestants in our first category tonight called Forge Ahead. These are all trivia questions that have to do with famous forgers or famous forgeries. So we sanitized and flipped a coin before the game started tonight, and half-hour radio hour, they eventually decided that they were going to get the first question of the category tonight. So this is going to start with you. We are in round one. All questions are worth 100 points. Stealing gets you 50. Everybody ready?
Ready.
This is we're gonna be.
All right.
All right. As ready as we're going to be. That's what we like to hear, Craig. All right. Your first question for 100 points. A portrait of this literary figure, known as the Flower Portrait, was dated 1609 and long believed to be an accurate depiction of this writer in his own lifetime. That is, until the National Portrait Gallery in London determined in 2005 that it had been painted in the 19th century. Who was the portrait of?
1600s.
Mark Twain.
Ooh, that's way too far back for Mark Twain.
Okay, well.
When was
It's a-
Shakespeare kicking?
That's not a bad one.
The right question is, when wasn't he kicking?
That's not the right question.
No,
Shakespeare
but do you
very
think it's like I feel like it's like a visual artist, like a painter.
I thought you said writer.
Can you
Did
repeat
you
the
say
question?
writer? Oh, we did say writer. You're right. He
Absolutely.
did say writer.
Wait, hold on.
Would you like me to repeat the question for you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one more time.
Yes. A portrait of this literary figure, known as the, quote, Flower Portrait, was dated 1609 and believed to be an accurate depiction of the writer during his own lifetime. That is until the National Portrait Gallery determined in 2005 that it was, in fact, a forgery. Who was the literary figure?
I think you're right, Megan. I think it's Shakespeare, and it's the one with his collar, like he's a flower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do
I don't
that.
know that
You
one.
can get a portrait of your dog that looks like that now.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
now I do know what you're talking
Yeah. William Shakespeare. Final answer.
Final answer. All right. Well, half hour radio hour. That is correct for 100 points. Also known as, hey, isn't that your dog? It was William Shakespeare. All right. Great job. This next question goes over to Tragic School Bus, also for 100 points. Despite being one of the most celebrated artists in history, this sculptor copied an earlier Roman's work when creating his piece called Sleeping Eros in 1496. When it was discovered to be a fake, people were so impressed by the forgery that the praise was received to jumpstart his career. Who was the famous artist?
Colby, this is where your art history knowledge is going to be very helpful.
I know my college better do me proud, but it's probably not gonna. Let's see. There were like 4 main big sculptors back in the day that half of them were the Ninja Turtle. Most of them were the Ninja
They were all the Ninja Turtles, right?
There we go.
Yeah.
My guess would be one of those 4, because those are the 4 that I can name, because they're Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I don't want to say Michelangelo because that just seems like it's too on the nose, especially after Shakespeare. Like,
And this is for both teams. Again, I can repeat the question if you'd like me to.
So
Because I
Michelangelo
wouldn't have started.
I mean, Raphael was a rad dude with a bad dude.
I believe Raphael was after, so that could be right.
Okay, a couple more seconds, and I do need an answer from you.
Yeah, let's do it. I trust you, Colby.
We'll do Raphael.
Raphael, final answer?
Sure.
He did have a bad attitude, but unfortunately he is not the famous artist that we are looking for this answer, which means half hour radio hour, you can get 50 points if you can name the sculptor whose first famous work was a forgery.
What if we did 25 points if we could name all the Ninja Turtles?
Ooh.
We gave you
We already said 2.
Okay, so it's either so that we got Michelangelo, we got Donatello,
Hello.
and
Your name.
no.
A few more seconds, then I do need an answer.
I feel like it might be Michelangelo.
What was Michelangelo?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Michelangelo. What do we got to lose?
We're all
50
gonna be
points.
dead one day. Michelangelo.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Michelangelo is correct for 50 points.
We're not gonna be dead tonight.
All right, well, great job, half hour radio hour. That's 50 points more for you, and then this one actually stays with you for 100 points. This is your question. Yves Chadron is best known for making 6 copies of this painting after it was stolen by Italian patriot Vincenzo Perugia in 1911, selling each copy to an American buyer for $330,000. No word on how the buyers felt after the original was recovered in 1913. What was the painting that he forged?
Okay, I think that it might be the Starry Night, and I only think that because an episode of Sherlock where there was a forgery of Starry Night.
Oh yeah. I just want to be clear. I wasn't cheating. I was just looking up what the 4th name of the Ninja Turtle was, and it was Leonardo.
Oh, you could have just asked.
I'm sorry.
We have experts here.
Yes, you're okay.
My only other guess would be the Mona Lisa, but I have no idea if that's.
There has never been a successful forgery of the Mona Lisa.
No.
Didn't he say it was flowers too, or was that?
Yeah.
Did I make that up?
Can you read that one more time, Chris?
Absolutely. Yves Chadron is best known for making 6 copies of this painting after it was stolen by Italian patriot Vincenzo Perugia in 1911, selling each copy to an American buyer for $330,000. No word on how the buyers felt when the original was recovered in 1913.
So it would
Few more
have to be.
seconds, and I will need an answer. from you.
Probably an Italian painting, so Starry Night doesn't
I
make a
want
ton
to
of
say
sense.
it was a Caravaggio, but I don't know which one.
Ugh,
I'm good.
I
with either.
don't.
Go with.
Okay, I do need an answer from you.
Go ahead, Kendall.
Let's do. I don't know. Starry Night. Fuck.
Fine,
Final
Starry
answer?
Night. Final answer.
Starry Night, final answer. Unfortunately, Starry Night is not the painting in question, which means Tragic School Bus, you can get 50 points if you can name the famous forgery.
We think it's another Da Vinci because it's Italian. I don't know what the other one.
But it was stolen by an Italian. Is the piece for an Italian?
That I do not
Stolen
know.
by Italian patriot Vincenzo Perugia. That was what the question said.
So maybe.
So it doesn't have to. What do Italians want to steal?
Heart.
I was gonna say, besides your heart. All right, a couple more seconds, then I do need an answer from you, Tragic
The
School
Last
Bus.
Supper or something. That's a Da Vinci thing, right?
Yeah, let's do that one.
That one seems easy to make a forgery of too. Like it's pretty known picture. I feel like too.
Is that your final answer?
I don't know. Ask them.
Yeah, let's do it. The
Last Supper, final answer?
Colby.
It is not the Last Supper.
But okay.
I was going to say, it's not the Last Supper. As Colby has pointed out, the Last Supper is painted on a wall, so it's incredibly hard to steal. It's a fresco. No, unfortunately, the correct answer for this question was the Mona Lisa. It was stolen by Vincenzo Perugia, who was a worker at the Louvre in 1911, and he hid it in Italy for 2 years before he got busted with it. And some copies were sold. All right, well, no points awarded on that one, but we did learn a little bit of something between our art history student and Kendall, who I believe works at the Art Institute of Chicago, but that one snuck under the radar, apparently. So we're going to move on to the next question. And now that I've just publicly shamed Kendall, this one goes over to Tragic School Bus. This is yours for 100 points. In 1971, Clifford Irving, an investigative reporter, forged an entire autobiography of this reclusive billionaire while the person was still alive. Unfortunately for Irving, his mark came forward a year later to expose the fraud before the manuscript could be published. Who was the billionaire magnate that he forged an autobiography of?
Billionaire in 71.
Read 71.
In 1971.
I don't know. My billionaire knowledge goes from like the Rockefellers to Tesla man. Like there's not much in between.
I like how you call him Tesla Man.
Tesla man.
Someone.
Who was rich in the 70s? I saw American Hustle. I know something about that.
Yeah,
Matt.
the Rockefellers and the Carnegies have always been rich, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a name we can. Well, okay. But an autobiography makes me feel like they could have done something like a Kellogg or something.
I'll give you a few more seconds, and I am going to need an answer from you.
Matt, do you lean any which way?
I don't. My knowledge of billionaires is very limited.
Kellogg is more 30.
Okay,
That's
I
my
do need an answer from you, so best guess.
Go with it, Colby.
Sure, Kellogg.
Kellogg is not the correct answer, so that means that no points are awarded for you, Tragic School Bus, but half hour radio hour, if you think you know the billionaire magnate who had a forged autobiography, you can get 50 points.
You hear the question one more time?
Absolutely. In 1971, Clifford Irving, an investigative reporter, forged an entire autobiography of this reclusive billionaire magnate while the person was still alive. Unfortunately for Irving, his mark came forward a year later to expose the fraud before the manuscript could be published.
Willy Wonka?
Okay,
I think that's it.
who was Anna Nicole Smith married to? Was that guy a billionaire?
What the guy that Jackie Kennedy was married to after John. What was his name?
Okay, couple more seconds. I do need an answer from you.
Aristotle Onassis.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very rare that a contestant gives me a more obscure answer than the one that I'm looking for. No, that name that you just said is not the person that the answer is. It's if anybody's ever seen The Aviator or has any knowledge of airplanes, Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes.
Who was a movie star, studio owner, a philanthropist, billionaire, and he never left his house, which is why they thought that they could pull off this con. So no points awarded on that one either. But this last question for 100 points stays with half hour radio hour. Let's see if you can get this one. In 1928, a California woman fooled newspapers by claiming to have inherited love letters documenting an affair between this former president and his secret lover, Anne Rutledge. However, scholars quickly spotted the ruse when they saw the president sign his letters with a nickname that we all know him by, but that he personally despised. Who was the former president?
LBJ.
Eddie?
What was the year?
1928.
No, it would have been LBJ is way too late. So it would have had to have been somebody that was president prior to 1928.
Washington
Taft?
Adams.
Taft, maybe? No, Taft doesn't make sense. I was thinking
I like
Teddy
how-
Roosevelt.
Kendall and Craig are working
Yeah,
from opposite
Teddy.
ends of the list.
Teddy Roosevelt. He hated being called Teddy. Who hates that? That's cute.
I think
don't
I
know.
read that he hated it.
Did you?
I
Oh, I just
could
got
have.
a push notification from the Associated Press. Teddy, he hated that name.
Oh,
to go with
maybe it's
Teddy.
Roosevelt.
Absolutely
Teddy.
despised it.
Yeah, he hated it.
I can't think of any other presidents' names,
It's not
nicknames.
gonna be that, but go for it.
Here's a few.
Teddy.
Final answer, Teddy Roosevelt.
Final
Yeah,
answer.
I'm sure it's wrong, but why not? We can't think of anything else.
Well, Craig just took the wind out of my sails because it is wrong, which means no points awarded on that one. But Tragic School Bus, if you think you know who it might be, 50 points is going to be heading your way.
Matt, do us good.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Absolutely. In 1928, a California woman fooled newspapers by claiming to have inherited love letters documenting an affair between this former president and his secret lover, Anne Rutledge. However, scholars quickly spotted the ruse when they saw the president sign his letters with a nickname that we all know him by, but that he personally despised.
The only nickname I can think of is Honest Abe, but I sincerely doubt that that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
This man knows he can list every president with every year, but we'll see if we get this right.
yeah. So if I think the question kind of cut out, my internet cut out. So the premise was this was an alleged, right? Like these weren't real letters.
Found to be a forgery. This is
Okay,
a
cool.
forged
That makes
document.
sense. That's the category.
You
Yeah.
did a whole joke about it.
That's true.
Okay, a few more seconds, then I do need an answer from you.
If it's a I would. Yeah, let's go with Abe Lincoln. Because they're
Final
inherited,
answer?
and it's a forgery, and it's a nickname.
Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln.
Well, we all called him Abe, but he personally hated it. Abraham Lincoln is correct for 50 points. Nicely done.
Damn.
Guys, we got some.
Got one, and you're on the board. And that's the end of our first category. And judging by my scoreboard, I have Tragic School Bus finally with 50 points.
Correct.
And in front of them, by just a hair, I have the Half Hour Radio Hour with 150 points.
Yep.
But we are going to give both of our teams an opportunity to score some additional scratch with our next game. And we've all just learned a little something about forgeries, about fooling the public, and about how to make something look like what everybody expects it to look like. But we're going to test our contestants and see how well they can forge something that hasn't even existed yet in our next game called Fakin' It. Now, when we first started the show, I asked our audience at home to give us a suggestion of a painting that doesn't exist. Now, Al, did we get a suggestion for said painting?
We did. You only need one, right?
Just one.
All right. The name of the painting is Bobby Souffle's Miracle.
Bobby Souffle's, spelled like the dish, souffle?
Correct. Yep.
All right. So here's how this works. Everybody has something that they can write on, draw on in front of them right now. So we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock, and we're going to give each of you an opportunity to draw your personal rendition of Bobby Souffle's Miracle. And once the timer runs out, we're going to put our pens down. You guys are going to turn them to face the webcam. We're going to give you each an opportunity to briefly describe what masterpiece you have forged for us. And then we're going to let our audience vote and see which team did the best job. Make sense to everybody? Okay, so we're doing Bobby Souffle's Miracle. Al, could we please put 60 seconds on the clock?
You got it.
All right, and everybody else, get those pens ready. Ready, set, and draw. This is the chef's brain going off in my head right now, but it is a miracle if you can get a souffle to rise. So that's the first thing that popped into my head. But also good wordplay. Who suggested that one?
That was suggested by Cooleyville.
Cooleyville. Well, thank you very much for the suggestion, Cooleyville, and also
That
apologies
was-
to everyone else
That was
who
through
I'm sure had what's
Twitch.
up?
That was through Twitch, so it doesn't show the
Through
real
Twitch. Oh, all right. Well, that's totally cool. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't draw for crap, so that's why I let everybody else do it for me, and I can't wait to see what our contestants have in store for us.
20 seconds, Chris.
20 seconds
Oh my
left on the clock. Everybody, keep it moving.
Some of the other suggestions were Breath of the Volcano and Veins of the Sun God.
Ooh, those are also some very good suggestions.
5
We appreciate
seconds.
everybody taking the time to throw something in the chat. But right now, we're going to find out exactly what our
2,
amateur forgers have in
1.
store for us, because pens down, that is time. It's time to show the world how good you are at forging Bobby Souffle's miracle. So we're going to give each team an opportunity to describe what they have in front of them. So we're going to start with Tragic School Bus. Why don't you show us what you have in store? You can hold yours up to the webcam so that everybody can see them nice and big. And let's start with, I see some color on Colby's, and I am intrigued. So we're going to start there. Colby, could you please take a moment to just describe very quickly what your forgery is of?
Yes, I took heavy inspiration from Mondrian, giving it quadrants. I ran out of room on the top, and so I just spilled some beer up here. These are some textures inspired by sprinkles, pepperoni, hair, and lines, and some tomato sauce from a pizza I'm working on. So
Fantastic. It's very good that you're working on two things simultaneously. That's the true mark of an artist. All right, Natalie, what do we have in front of us here right now?
Okay, I went a little more literal with my interpretation, but this is Bobby, and he is putting the souffle in said oven. There's a lot of angels and cherubs happening because this actually takes place in heaven. And if you notice right here, this is Lil Nas's pole.
Nice.
So
Fantastic.
yeah. So it's all there. And yeah.
Excellent work. It's a great piece of perspective art. All right, and finally, Matt, let's see what you have in store for us right now.
Yes. So mine is a rendition of Bobby Souffle's greatest miracle when he parted the Ched Sea. You can see here's Chef Bobby in his chef's hat and spatula, magically parting the sea of cheese so they could cross.
That is astounding, breathtaking, and it is straight out of that book in the Bible that clearly tells that story of him parting the Ched Sea. So excellent work. All right, great job, Tragic School Bus. And let's move over to Half Hour Radio Hour. Let's show them to the camera so you can explain your beautiful works of art. All right, well, Kendall, yours is the closest to the camera, so we're going to start with yours.
This is Bobby Flay, and this is the baby Jesus. This is Bobby Souffle. He's in a souffle pan. This is Bobby Flay's miracle.
Fantastic. It's a literal bun in the oven. I also believe it was art students, back me up on this one. Was it Seurat who pioneered the use of drawing arrows and then writing what it was?
It was me, actually.
Oh, fantastic. All right, excellent job, Kendall. Craig, let's see what you got for us.
Well, I assume that we're all familiar with the hit sports classic Miracle. So this is Bobby Flay over here. He's French. He's got a little mustache and a beret. And this is a goalie's net, and he hit a souffle into the goalie's net. A miracle win and a miracle that said souffle has risen.
Right in the corner,
Fantastic.
too.
That's
Right
going
in the
on
corner.
fridge.
Right in the pocket.
It's a hard shot. It's a miracle shot. All right,
It's a
Megan, let's see
miracle
what you
shot.
got for us.
So mine, as we all know, the original of this artwork was actually done on ancient lined paper. So I copied the same technique. Similarly to my teammate, I am taking Bobby Flay, and he's bringing his souffle, the miracle, going life to death from where Kendall started, emerging from the stone grave is Bobby Flay's souffle. I think we can all agree a large miracle. And there's even, I took the detail in the bystanders, which I think a lot of people seem to forget, of the shock and awe of the miracle itself.
Yes, he is risen, a true souffle miracle. All right, well, fantastic work, all 6 contestants. We really do love everything that you did for us, but it is not up to me to decide who won this game. It is up to you, our fantastic audience at home, to vote on which team you think did the best job and thus deserves an additional 200 points on this game. Here's how you vote. If you would like to vote for Tragic School Bus as the best forgers in the game, you're going to put the number 1, just the number 1, into your chat bar, and you're going to click send. That is a vote for Tragic School Bus. If you would like to vote for the Half Hour Radio Hour, you're going to put the number 2, just the number 2, into your chat bar and click send. And we have a fancy little robot that's going to count up all of your votes for us. And we're going to get to the results and award one of these teams some points. But first, we're going to take a quick word from one of our wonderful sponsors. Please enjoy.
It's been a long year, and you're finally ready to get back out there. But you've tried the usual dating sites before, and still nothing seems to fit. Tired of the endless sifting? Looking for the right person but not sure if what you're seeing is what you'll get? There's a better solution. Try Dating Chris. Dating Chris is easy and fun. No swiping required. Just tell Chris you're single and interested and let Chris take care of the rest. Sure, he's handsome, but he's more than just eye candy. Chris is a natural when it comes to making conversation. But don't worry, he's a great listener too. Looking for a fun night on the town or a cozy night with a movie? Either way, Chris has it covered. For the music fans out there, he can also play guitar. He's not great, but he is trying, and he's taking requests. Feeling hungry? Did we forget to mention that Chris is also a classically trained chef? Bon appetit, ladies. Chris Iannucci is more than just a game show host. He's also single. And right now, isn't that enough? So put down the phone and pick up a catch and try dating Chris.
And we are back, and I would just like to point out that we did not get paid for that product. I just support it because I'm a fan. Well, welcome back, everybody. And Al, do we get a consensus on which team did the best forgeries?
Not only did we get a consensus, but we got a confession too. Cooleyville admitted that he did not know that was not that man's real name. He didn't know it was Bobby Flay. He thought it was Bobby Souffle.
Even better. Well, you know what? If you're gonna stumble backwards into an awesome joke, I say just roll with it. But thank you so much for the suggestion. And who was the winner, Al?
Tragic School Bus took it.
Congratulations, Tragic School Bus. You just netted yourself an extra 200 points, which gives you a slight lead over Half Hour Radio Hour going into round 2, which we are about to get started now. And y'all did such a great job with the suggestions. We're going to be looking for some more suggestions from you right now. And here they are. Get those fingers moving, because here's what we need from you. We need a suggestion of a profession or a specific field of study. We're going to need a bunch of these. So think of as many as you like. You can make them regular. You can make them exotic, whatever you would like. But we need a job or a field of study. That's our first suggestion from you. The second suggestion is a suggestion of a quirky or an unusual problem that someone may have while they're either dating or in a relationship. So professions or fields of expertise. And then the second suggestion is a quirky or unusual problem that someone might run into when they are either dating or in a relationship. So get those fingers moving, get as creative as you like. Again, we have our monitors who are in the field right now, roving around to take up your best suggestions, and we're going to do something with those in just a moment. But for right now, we actually have a very special guest in store for our contestants and you, our audience at home. Now, with the ad that we just played and with spring being in the air, everybody's kind of got a little bit of, a little bit of feeling of romance in the air. And so we thought that it would be the perfect time to reach out to an expert, a relationship expert, who was gracious enough to take some time to come on the show. Now, their name is Love Eggspert. That's their YouTube handle. And they are here to give us some advice, some demonstrations. I'm not actually quite sure what, but they're a relationship expert, and they're here to teach us a little something. So would you please welcome Love Eggspert?
Hey everybody, hi, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Love Eggspert, sorry, you're not on your YouTube channel. We're actually doing, this is Quarantine the Game Show. Remember we're gonna...
Oh, right, of course, Chris. Sorry, I forgot I was doing this, charity for you, but I didn't realize I was gonna be walking into a room full of such beauties. Hello.
Well, thank you. It's just the suit, just kind of like, it's a nice thing I'd like to do for the show.
I wasn't talking about you, Chris.
Okay. All right. Well, love Eggspert. So you are a self-proclaimed relationship expert with a YouTube following, and we would love to give you an opportunity to share some of your expertise with us here on the show this evening. So.
Absolutely, yeah. As somebody who's been in maybe 20 relationships so far, I think I'm pretty good at, jumping in and out of them and just kind of giving advice about them,
Well,
I'm kind of a serial dater.
That's pretty impressive. 20 relationships. Most people only ever go through a handful in their lifetime.
Oh, that was just this year, not in my lifetime. I didn't even know how many people I've dated. No, but I see some contenders in the room right now. Hey, Colby,
So
I see that. I see that headband there. That's cute. You could liberate my war any day, you know?
Okay. Love expert. So did you have something prepared for the show this evening that you wanted to share with our contestants?
Yes, well, considering this is almost a room full of hotties, just don't worry about this guy. I thought I would ask some questions about people that I crush on so hard. So we are going to be doing a little thing called Crush Hour. So you guys, yes. You guys are going to be just asked a few questions about some of the most beautiful people like ever to have existed in history. People I would have definitely dated for at least a week. So first off, who are we starting with? Who's starting us off?
Why don't you start with Tragic School Bus on this one?
Tragic School Bus, perfect, great name, I love it. So, Tragic School Bus. Born with a beautiful face, but not such a beautiful name. Norma Jean Mortensen was the birth name of which iconic singer-actress?
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe.
That was really quick.
That was really quick. Yeah, you guys got it. Yes, of course it was Marilyn Monroe. Yes, she's beautiful. My gosh.
Well, congratulations, Tragic School Bus. That's 200 points for your team.
Yes. Okay. So then we'll go ahead. We'll move on to half hour. When someone needs a little freaky music, excuse me, we all go for one band, the Beatles. Which Beatles song was banned by the BBC when it first came out for its pornographic priestess lyrics?
Ooh.
I'm gonna be real, dog. I don't know the Beatles music.
Banned by the BBC.
For pornographic?
Classic bang music, right?
I feel like it's probably early Beatles, just because they were unknown at the time and maybe people.
Yellow Submarine, that's a freaky song. Have you tried to freak to that song? It's nuts.
Maybe tonight.
Pornographic lyrics. I have no idea. It's probably something that's very tame now. Twist and Shout, maybe?
Pretty wild, you guys.
I don't know. Marilyn Monroe.
A few more seconds and then we'll need the answer from you.
I feel like maybe Twist and Shout because...
Really?
Yeah, it's got like this edgy, like sexy thing going on.
Did the
From
Beatles
John
do Twist and
Lennon?
Shout?
Yeah, it's their song originally.
Blows my mind. I'd say that then. I agree.
Okay, we do need an answer from you.
Let's do it. Twist and
That's it.
Shout.
Twist and Shout is unfortunately not the answer, but that's okay because that's like a really hot song. I will say, go Tragic School Bus. Do you know what the answer is?
Didn't Eleanor Rigby live by a church? Isn't that a thing? Priestess. Sorry, didn't Eleanor Rigby like live by a church?
Oh, Eleanor.
Yeah. my guess would be I Want You, like, cause that's a little. They say she's so heavy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Better than my guess.
Or it could be Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and people just horribly misinterpreting it.
But where would the Sex Priestess be?
I do need an answer from you.
Yeah, let's go with yours, Colby.
The first one.
All right. I Want You / She's So Heavy.
Oh, also a very, very hot song, but it is I Am the Walrus. Specifically for the lyric about the girl letting her knickers down. That's what got them.
That's
That's
fine.
what put them over the edge. Yeah.
And the song says pornographic priestess.
Yeah, I'm actually a huge Beatles fan. I love I Am the Walrus. It's like one of my favorite songs by them.
Oh my god, you guys. Like he keeps interrupting and I just don't know what to do about it.
It's my show. I can't interrupt my own.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go on, please go on.
I thought I was a guest. Okay. Anyway.
Go on.
All right. So now we're going to Tragic School Bus.
Yes, this one is for Tragic School Bus.
Wonderful. So Fabio had one of the most famous faces of the 90s. Unfortunately, that face famously was hit at high velocity while promoting a roller coaster at Busch Gardens, making it the sexiest and bloodiest roller coaster ride ever. What hit Fabio in the face?
Oh, I don't know, but this is hilarious.
I did not know this. This is news to me. I did not know.
What can you get hit in the face with on a roller coaster?
Bird.
That's a good one. I like that answer.
He was on. Can I ask a clarifying question? Was he on the roller coaster?
He was in the front seat in the middle, and it was a Roman style roller coaster, and he was surrounded by women in white robes and laurel wreaths.
Yeah, that tracks.
That is the most Fabio thing I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
it tracks. It tracks.
Yeah, it's either a bird or like an olive branch at that point.
I mean, birds they can like take down an airplane, right? By going to the engines, they can.
I think if he's
take
in the
down
front,
Fabio's
it's not
face.
going to be anything like an item that someone was like wearing. So I feel like a bird, like a natural, like occurring object in nature, is probably like a good guess.
And it's just funny to think of like a bird messing up in his hair, you know?
Yeah, I think we should go with bird.
You know, I would say yes, that is correct. He was hit in the face by a 20-pound goose.
What? How did he
Yes.
die?
Yes.
Is my question.
Yeah.
How was?
Oh my
how
gosh.
was how was the goose? I mean, like I'm a big lover of birds, so I would be concerned because I, try to.
Of course, Chris, of course you can only think about the goose. What about his face? Look at this beautiful face. Fabio, it was blood everywhere. The women dressed in white behind him were covered in Fabio's beautiful blood. It was a mess.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be insensitive to Fabio's needs. Okay, do you have another question prepared for Half Hour Radio Hour?
Yes, yeah. So, Crushing knows no language, but the members of the sensational boy band BTS know several. What popular sitcom did my fave member, RM, watch to help him learn English before touring?
Oh, it's gotta be. I think it's gotta be Friends. I think that's like the most syndicated show in the world.
How wild would it be if it was Modern Family?
Honestly, my first thought was Mom.
It was Young Sheldon.
It was Young Sheldon. I think it's got to be Friends. What do you think, Megan? Friends?
Yeah, Friends makes sense.
That show's syndicated everywhere. Let's say Friends.
Well, I mean, I hope you'll be there for me because Friends is correct.
Yeah.
Great job, Half Hour Radio Hour. You said Mom. I think what's his name? BM from BTS. What's his name?
RM? Did you just call him BM, Chris?
I don't know. I don't know BTS, but if he was watching Mom, I think he was the only person watching.
If I make it night every night.
Just him and Craig. That's it.
Just us two. Allison Janney is a gem.
Truly.
I won't argue you on that one. But anyways, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting again, Love Expert. Did you have another question prepared for us?
Yeah, I do have one. There is probably the oldest heartthrob in the world in terms of how long ago they were, not how old they are. Cleopatra was Egypt's last and hottest pharaoh, but her Ancestry.com account doesn't say she's Egyptian. Where did Cleopatra's family come from?
It's again news to me. I mean, I don't.
We are all about learning stuff on this show.
This is for us? Or...
This is for Tragic School Bus.
Yeah. Yes, sorry.
No worries.
I'm just nervous.
I know how she died. I don't know how she came into this world.
I think she's like, probably not Greek, but something like Greek.
Italian, Greek.
One of those.
Feel free to talk it out.
Yeah, what are those,
Right? Yeah.
what were those other empires back
We're all
then?
thinking in our own brains.
I like.
That's what the audience loves to see.
Silence.
I don't feel like it's. Well, again, I only know how she died, but I don't feel like she's from Europe. I feel like it's somewhere else. I don't know. It's an asp. It's not an asp.
She's secretly an asp. She was a snake.
Okay, few more seconds, and I do need an answer from you.
Israel was my next guess.
That could be good because she can't come from where Mark Anthony came from.
Okay, I do need an answer
No,
from you.
she's Israelis though.
Best guess, I need an answer.
Israel?
Phoenician.
Israel, final answer?
Phoenicia?
We gotta take
Israel-
it. Is Israel the correct answer?
Israel is not the correct answer. No. So half hour. Do you know possibly where she was from?
Okay, so this is what I think. I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of flack for Gal Gadot being cast as Cleopatra because she is Israeli, and I think it's because Cleopatra was Palestinian.
No, I'll tell you what. Cleopatra was Greek because there's an animated show on Hulu about young Cleopatra as a superhero, and it's in the pilot episode.
Are you sure? I feel like
Yeah,
A couple
that was
seconds, then I
proven.
do
watched it in
need
the
an answer
shower.
from you.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna trust you.
Mac.
I'm
Straight
gonna
up,
trust
yo,
you.
she's Greek.
All right,
Greek.
let's hear it.
Final
Well,
answer.
Kendall, that's a big fat Greek yes.
Nice.
Yes.
I
Great
watch
job.
TV in the shower.
It's 100 points and a fantastic admission from Half Hour Radio Hour. All right, great
Bonus
work.
points.
Love Expert, did you have anything else?
You know,
for us?
Tragic School Bus or Half Hour Radio Hour, this one's for you. This famous actor in 2016 received the honor of Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, from Queen Elizabeth, and also Officer of My Ovaries. Who do these queens entrust with their lives?
Hugh Grant.
No, it's like you said a young person, right?
It's a famous actor in 2016.
Oh,
So not necessarily.
not young.
And that's like a step below being knighted. So
I think
who?
Hugh
Harry,
Grant
stop.
did.
Hugh Grant, you think?
I think Hugh Grant did get something from the Queen, but I don't know if it was that. What about
Hugh Grant's
what's
a
his
good
face?
guess.
The guy who played James Bond.
Oh, oh fuck, what's his name?
Oh.
Craig, Daniel Craig.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant this guy, Tom Hardy.
His name is literally
Final
my
answer?
name. Daniel Craig's not a bad one.
Go with Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig, unfortunately,
Cast
is
him off.
not correct. No. So, Tragic School Bus. Do you want to throw out another crush guess?
What do you think about Idris Elba? He's British.
Idris Elba, or I was also thinking Hugh Grant because he also.
Is he dreamy enough?
No.
Yes.
I
I chased that man up a hill in France. He's not that dreamy.
Wait, but we'll circle back to that. Sorry, Tragic School Bus, we do need an answer from you.
Oh.
Idris?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Idris Elba.
Idris Elba is 100% correct. Absolutely. Oh.
Damn, nice job, Tragic School Bus. And Idris Elba, that's a pretty caliente dude. I think, you've got some great taste in your hunks there, Love Expert. So I take it back. I think you kind of do know what you're talking about.
Well, I do have to say, doing this favor for you, not a total loss, because I was very happy to see all your beautiful faces. Thank you so much.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Love Expert. And we look forward to maybe learning a little bit more from you sometime down the line. But for right now, thank you so much.
Subscribe and make sure to leave a comment down below.
All right, Love Expert, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on the show. All right, well, we are almost through the end of round 2, and we have one more game in store for our contestants tonight. Now, we've been talking nonstop about love, hunks, heartthrobs. But, you know, not everybody gets to know about relationships as easily as our love expert does. And so sometimes you need to get some source material. Well, we're going to quiz our contestants right now on just how well they know some titles of some dating and relationship books in a category that we're calling Looking for Love. And here's how this works. Now, in front of me, I have a list of 12 different relationship or dating books that you could potentially buy on Amazon if you're looking for a little leg up in the love game. But here's the thing. Some of these are real books, and some of these are titles that I invented. Now, this is not a team game. I'm going to give each person individually the title of a book. It is your job to tell me whether or not this book exists in real life or if it's something that I invented. Now, everybody's going to get 2. Getting a question correct gets your team 100 points. Wrong answer gets you nothing. Make sense to everybody? All right, great. We're going to start this one off with Kendall. Kendall, this one is yours. Please tell me if this is a real or a fake book. Your title is For the Love of Money, How to Marry Rich. Real or fake?
That's a real book.
Kendall, I made that one up, so no points awarded on that one, but you still got one more shot down the road. All right, let's move over to Colby. Colby, please tell me if this is real or fake. Your title is Never Get Ghosted Again.
That's real.
It is real for 100 points. Great job. All right, let's go over to Craig. Craig, please tell me if this is real or fake. Your book title is called, also there's the cover for Never Get Ghosted Again, just to prove that that is in fact a real book. Our next book title, Craig, this is yours. Tell me if this is real or fake. It's titled Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. Real or fake?
Okay, I feel like my grandma owned this book. I'm gonna say it's real.
Apparently your grandma is a closet Steve Harvey fan because it is real and it's his relationship book as seen here. That is 100 points for half hour radio hour. Great job. All right, this next one goes over to Natalie. Natalie, this is for you. Your book title is You Can Win Them Back. Real or fake?
I'm gonna go with fake.
Natalie, you can't win them back. I made that title up. That is 100 points for Tragic School Bus. Great job. All right, this next one goes over to Megan. Megan, please tell me if this is real or fake. Your title is Dating for Under $1.
I'm gonna have to go with fake.
You know, money can't buy you love, and this book proves it. It is real, Megan, so no points are awarded there. Dating for Under $1 is an actual book you can buy. All right.
Look how old that book is. You didn't tell me it was old.
I didn't set the parameters, but you can still buy it on Amazon, and that's the important thing. All right, Matt, this one is yours. Please tell me if this is real or fake. Your title is called Everything I Know About Women I Learned from My Tractor.
Ooh. And part of me wants it to be real, but I think it's fake.
Part of me also wants it to be real, and it is. It is a real book, Matt, that you can buy. Life lessons from a man who clearly has spent a lot of time around tractors, so no points awarded on that one. I'm going to start at the top of the order here. Kendall, this one is for you. Please tell me if this is a real or a fake book title. It's called Wood Nymph Seeks Centaur. Real or fake?
Why are you giving me these?
These are completely random. I do not choose who gets which title. I should say that from the start.
Say it one more time.
Wood Nymph Seeks Centaur. Real or fake?
No, say it again, but look deep into the camera and bite your lip.
We already played that ad once. We can't do it again. All right, real or fake, Kendall?
I want to say that's real.
Kendall, it is real for 100 points. And there is your title. I guarantee you there's an entire chapter about crystals in that book. All right, let's go over to Colby. Colby, this is yours. Real or fake? The title is Gambling on Love, The Odds of Winning with a Pair of Hearts.
Oh, too many good puns. That has to be good. That has to be true. Yes, that's a real thing.
I appreciate the compliment on my pun game, but no, Colby, I made that one up, which means no points are awarded for that one. All right, let's go over to Craig. Craig, please tell me if this is real or fake. The title is Jesus is My Wingman.
My grandma did not have that book. I think it's real though. I'm gonna say it's real.
Craig, if you're looking for a wingman, you could probably pick somebody else because I made that book up. That is not a real book, so no points are awarded. All right, let's go over to Natalie. Natalie, this one is yours. The title is Make Your Own Sex Toys, a practical guide to a better love life, real or fake.
Sounds really up Amazon's alley, and I'm gonna go with real.
For the at-home hobbyist with too much time on their hands, yes, it absolutely is a real book for 100 points. Great job. All right, this next one, we're gonna go over to Megan. Megan, please tell me if this is real or fake. Your title is The Beginner's Guide to Sex in the Afterlife.
Real.
Megan, it is real for 100 points. Great job.
I bought it for Craig.
Even ghosts need love.
All right. I needed it.
You're welcome, Kevin.
Last one of the category. Matt, this one is for you. Please tell me if this is real or fake. Your book's title is The Dogs Can Watch, Tried and True Relationship Advice for Pet Owners.
No. It's real.
Matt, I made that one up. So no points are awarded on that card. And thank God I made that one up because we don't need that book loose in the world. Well, that is the end of that game. And totaling up the scores right now, I have the half-hour radio hour with 750 points. But just in the lead with 1,050 points, it's Tragic School Bus. I'm sorry, Al's giving me a look like I got that wrong. What's the total?
I had 850 for them and 750 for half hour.
It is possible that I had screwed that up. So yes, we're going to say 850 points. Or I think
you were adding 200
we had this
points,
whole
Chris.
conversation. All right. So that is the scores right now. We have Tragic School Bus with 850, half-hour radio hour at 750. It is very close, and we're going to give both of our teams an opportunity to win some points from the audience with our next game called Love Language. Now, we asked for some suggestions from you, our audience at home. We needed some suggestions of professions and areas of expertise, as well as some quirky or unusual problems that somebody might encounter while dating or in a relationship. Now, here's how this game is going to work. We're going to split our teams into two different competing relationship shows. We've all seen Dr. Drew. We've all listened to Dr. Ruth. I'm sure there's another doctor out there somewhere who completes the trio. But right now, we are going to imbue each of our players with the expertise of a particular job or a particular scholar, whatever these suggestions come in from the audience hour. We're going to give you the expertise of this background, and we're going to give you a relationship problem as suggested by our audience. Now, it doesn't have to be good advice, but it has to be relationship advice. So we're going to get our suggestions, we're going to give them to each of our teams, and we're going to give them each an opportunity to offer a piece of relationship advice for said problem. And when everything's said and done, we're going to let our audience vote on which team gave the best advice, and it's going to score your team 200 points. Make sense to everybody? All right, let's start out with half-hour radio hour first. And Al, could we give them some background? Who are our love experts this evening? Craig, what's Craig's expertise?
Craig is a restaurant reviewer.
Craig is a restaurant reviewer. And Kendall?
She is a linebacker.
A linebacker, fantastic. And Megan?
A drag car racer.
Megan is a drag car racer.
Much.
All right. Well, and then we need a problem for said love experts. So, Al, what was one of the suggestions that we got for a quirky or unusual problem?
So, just a quick question: are both teams going to have the same problem, or
nope? They will each get a different one.
Okay. So their problem is that they are allergic to their partner's dandruff.
So we have a caller who calls in with a query. They are allergic to their partner's dandruff. Now, given your particular backgrounds, please, by all means, offer up some relationship advice for our lovelorn caller.
Oh, sweetheart, you gotta pump the brakes. You gotta pump the brakes. I'll tell you what. I say there's no future here. Slam it.
In the restaurant business, we often deal with allergies. And I say, send it to the table anyway. You've not seen your best years yet. You've got a little bit left to live. Send it to the table. Send it to the table. Munch it up. Who cares if you have a reaction? You can always get out later. I have an EpiPen. You can borrow it.
Our linebacker needs to chime in.
It's your sport thing.
Shut up. If your partner's got dandruff, just have him wear a helmet. We wear those in sports.
Fantastic work. An amazing enthusiasm, and it is blunt and to the point, much like a linebacker. All right, great job, Half Hour Radio Hour. But not to be outdone, we now have to let Tragic School Bus solve a relationship problem. So, Al, could we please get 3 different personas for our 3 players?
Yes.
Let's start with Natalie. What is Natalie's level of expertise?
Super quick, I readjusted the score because someone pointed out that I forgot to add the points for the what do you call it? The first audience get. So it is 1,050.
One of those rare instances where I was actually right and Al wasn't. So I'm going to bask in that. But for right now, let's give Natalie a background or a level of expertise in something.
A professional poker player.
Natalie, you're a professional poker player. And Matt?
Is a baker.
And Colby is?
An astronaut.
And an astronaut. All right, fantastic. And then we need a quirky relationship or dating problem.
All right, I'm going to actually let you pick because I like 2 of these. Either their dogs hate each other or they have the same first name. Chris, that's your call.
I am going to go with dogs hate each other. So you are helping a person who's dating somebody whose their dogs do not get along. So please help our caller.
Okay, you've all seen that picture of dogs playing poker? So there's a lot of conflict in that picture. And so we're gonna have to channel that into this dog relationship, all right? If we've got poker face going on, these dogs aren't communicating correctly, okay? All right? So we need tails wagging. We need treats been giving them out to all the dogs so they know that if they're putting on a good face, they're gonna get rewarded, and rewarded big time.
Yeah. When I've been mulling this over. It's been baking in the oven at 350 in my mind. When my dog, when it gets really upset, it's when I burn the souffle and the smoke alarm starts going off. So I'm saying if you put the cookies in for a little longer, that smoke alarm's going to go off and both those dogs are going to go nuts. And the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Those dogs are going to love each other because they're both going to hate the smoke alarm.
So let me tell you a few things that we would do in the ISS when we want to get along, like American on one side, Russian on the other, gravity. But you see, we just kind of go to the opposite sides of the room and just kind of breathe it out real quick and then threaten to throw each other out of gravity, the airlock. And so, you just kind of have to sit with it and hopefully in a few months things will get better. Gravity.
All right. Excellent job, Tragic School Bus. Nice commitment to the bit, by the way, Colby. That was fantastic. All right. Well, I have nothing but high praise for both teams. But once again, it is not my call. It is up to you, our audience, to decide which team is going to get an extra 200 points. And the same rules apply as before. If you want to vote for the half-hour radio hour, let's start with Tragic School Bus. If you want to vote for the Tragic School Bus, you're going to put the number 1 into the chat bar, and you're going to click send. If you want to vote for the half-hour radio hour, slide the number 2 into that chat bar and click send. 1 for Tragic School Bus, 2 for half-hour radio hour, and our fancy chat bot is going to count up the results, and we're going to get those points awarded. But we have one last trivia category that we're going to get to in the meantime. We're moving into round 3, where all questions are worth 300 points. Stealing gets you 150, and it is still a very close game. Now, one of the biggest trends in the last month, and a good trend if you ask me, is that since people have been getting vaccinated en masse, it's become very common for everybody to take pictures of themselves, a selfie, as I hear it's called, with you holding up your COVID vaccination card to show the world that you indeed are part of the solution. So with all of these cards that are being sent around the internet, it's really easy to forget about some other kinds of cards, some other cards that maybe helped us out when we were stuck at home, sitting alone by ourselves with no one to hang out with, and just a deck of 51. So I thought that we would take this last category to ask our contestants some questions about those good old-fashioned cards in our last category of the evening, appropriately titled in the cards? These are all questions that have to do with playing cards. All right, now this first question goes to Tragic School Bus. Again, 300 points for a correct answer. Stealing gets you 150. Your question. In the original design, the 4 kings in a deck of cards were each meant to symbolize a famous king in antiquity. It's fitting then that traditionally the role of King of Clubs was given to this conquering king.
I only know how to play bridge with grandma. Oh, yeah, help me.
I don't know many kings. William the Conqueror, right? That was a king.
But it has to be something fitting with club. It's either like a pun or something smarter than I am.
Like a Scottish king, like golf clubs. Like I don't.
I know Henry VIII and all of his endeavors, and that's pretty much it.
Did playing cards predate Henry VIII?
Yeah, playing cards are really old.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. What? I like the. I mean, do you guys? William, is that a king? That seems like a king.
He's currently a prince, but maybe.
What is
But that one,
name? Yeah, different Williams.
There's been a few.
William.
All right, a couple of more seconds, then I do need to answer from
Maybe I'm making this name up, but it sounds familiar. Maybe it's from a TV show.
We're
So
going
who
with
are we picking?
King William the Conqueror. Is that who we're saying?
William the Conqueror is your final answer?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it is not William the Conqueror, although that is a very solid guess. So let's move over to half hour radio hour. You can steal for 150 points if you can name the King of Clubs.
Okay, you know what's crazy is my gut reaction was Scotland, King of Scotland, and then
Okay.
they said it, and so I think we should do that.
Okay, so who's the king of Scotland?
I don't think
You
we
think
need
it's
to be
broad?
specific. I think we can say
think
King of
it's-
Scotland. I'm not a genius.
Guys, we can say anything. There's
Yeah,
no-
I mean, we could say gobbledygool, but that's not a king.
that-
You can, but you only have a few more seconds because I do
King of
need an
Scotland.
answer from you.
Scotland. King of Scotland.
Final
King of
answer.
Scotland.
Go
King
for
of
it.
Scotland,
I
final
got
answer.
nothing better.
Sure.
There've been a few, and none of them are the correct answer. We were looking for Alexander the Great, conquered most of the then known world. That
Check the
is-
cards. Check the cards, because I think we were.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I definitely remember writing that one. So unfortunately, no points were awarded on that one. Well, this next question stays with half hour radio hour. This one's for 300. In England, as playing cards gained popularity, they became so fond of their own style of playing that they instated what was known as the British rule, which is a variation that swaps the value of these 2 cards.
Oh, isn't it the ace and the?
Ace and the king, probably, because sometimes the king can be, or ace and the.
Or is it the jack and the 10? I know that when
Or is
I.
it- no, wait. What about the king and the queen? They would elevate the queen over the king because there have been so many
Ooh,
British
I like
queens.
that. I like that one.
I like that. I've never heard of it, but
I haven't
like
either. The only I liked what you were saying, but it's not 2 cards that they were swapping.
Oh, it's
It would be
is
like,
it the Joker and the Ace?
I don't know. I'm just thinking because like sometimes the ace can be played high or low, so maybe
Yeah.
the British
But is
rule
that British
places.
rule?
The British rule might place the ace at the beginning, but that's not 2 cards that you're swapping. Place it at the beginning so that the king was
Can
still
you
the
repeat it
highest.
one more time, Chris? One more time.
Absolutely. In England, as playing cards gained popularity, they became so fond of their own style of playing that they instated what was known as the British rule, which is a variation that swaps the value of these 2 cards. In a few more seconds, and I do need an answer from you.
I think if it's swapping 2 cards, I feel like king and queen makes the most sense.
I feel like that's almost too obvious. I bet it's ace and 2.
Okay, I do need an answer from you.
Go. You choose.
King, that would mean okay, king and queen.
King and queen,
The king
final
of
answer?
queen.
Yes.
It is not the king of queens, but Craig, you are absolutely right. It is the king and queen based on who the ruling monarch is. So that is 300 points for half hour radio hour. Great job. All right, next question. This one goes over to Tragic School Bus. Yours for 300. While we're all very familiar with the 4 suits, hearts, clubs, spades, and diamonds, in the late 1930s, several manufacturers released a 65-card deck with a 5th suit, colored in green, and featuring this bird as the suit's symbol.
Quick, name some green birds. It's probably not goose because Fabio already got hit with one.
I want to say like
It's
dove. Duck.
Dove sounds good. Dove's a good one, or like a sparrow. Sparrow seems like a card suit.
That does sound very, very card suity.
Yeah. Ducks? I don't know. Birds?
I would go between dove and sparrow just because they sound fancy and they belong in a card deck. But what do we want to say?
I like dove, but I feel like because it's green, green doves just seems really weird to me.
Oh yeah, so sparrow's green.
They're like brown, right? And like I think brown's closer to green than white is.
I'll give you a few more seconds. I do need an answer from you.
Sparrow?
Bear or goose?
Oh, green goose.
But we already had goose with Fabio. I don't know if we do
That's true.
gooses one night.
Green sparrow.
Do it.
I'm sorry, final answer is?
Sparrow is.
Unfortunately, sparrow is not the correct answer, which means half hour radio hour, you can get 150 if you can name that bird.
Can we hear the question again, please?
Absolutely. While we're all very familiar with the four suits, in the late 1930s, several manufacturers released a 65-card deck with a fifth suit, colored green, and featuring this bird as the suit's symbol.
Okay, this is very serious. I think it's a turkey. And I think it's a turkey because Ben Franklin desperately wanted the American bird to be a turkey. And in the 30s, especially early 30s before the Depression, manufacturing was booming. There were a lot of American
a few more seconds and I do need an answer from you, Craig.
Can we just go with Craig's turkey?
Do the
so we're not
turkey.
talking about turkey.
I think it's turkey.
Do the turkey.
Or turkey.
Thinks it's turkey. Final answer?
Yeah.
Final answer.
I could listen to Craig talk about turkeys all night long, but unfortunately, turkey is not correct either. It was an eagle. The fifth symbol was the eagle. If you're going regal, you want to go eagle. All right, well, no points awarded on that one either, but this next question stays with half hour radio hour. This is yours for 300. This card rose to prominence in 1765 when England began to tax the sales of playing cards. Today, this card still stands out as having a bold design with extra blank space, as it was the card in the deck that the tax collector would stamp to signify that the tax had been paid. What is the one card out of the 52 card deck that I am talking about?
It's either the Joker or the instruction card.
But I think we have to
Okay.
name the suit too.
Well, and he also just said out of the 52 card deck, and jokers and instruction cards would be an additional outside of the 50.
So I
So it's-
suck. Okay.
So it's got to be one of the other cards. It's got extra space on
Extra
it.
space, so that means it's a low card, right?
It's probably an
Not
ace.
necessarily. Yeah, ace makes sense.
It's probably the ace of diamonds.
But
huh?
like,
Because
is there any difference between an ace of diamonds and a two of diamonds in terms of space? Like, no.
Do we have to be specific which ace, or can we
I'm
just?
looking for one card out of the 52 card deck. That is
So
the
it's
question.
a suit and a
Very
and a-
specific.
I bet it's the ace of spades because when you pull a fresh deck out, that's the first one,
Oh.
and that's the easiest one.
It still
Okay, you
doesn't
have a
answer
few
the
more.
question
You have
of
a few
space.
more seconds.
Just
and then
Of
I do
space
need
on the
answer.
card, but I don't.
Maybe space is really just a play on spades.
Yeah. Okay.
Spades.
Ace
Let's
of
do
spades.
ace of spades.
Yeah, let's do ace of spades.
Final answer?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not clever enough to do that kind of wordplay, Megan. But also, that is the correct answer for 300 points. So great job.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Kendall
got
had
me
it right.
there.
That's why it's typically the first card in the deck. It is also why, if you look at a deck of cards now, typically it has wider margins and a bolder font.
Really?
All right.
I knew it.
300 points for half hour radio hour. All right, last question of the category. This one is for Tragic School Bus. This is for you. The Joker card is a purely American invention, first introduced to decks in 1867 as an additional trump card for use in this card game, which some believe the Joker actually gets its name from. What is the card game that I'm referring to?
Euchre?
My guess would be euchre. But
I don't know what euchre actually means, but it sounds like Joker.
I've played
Euchre.
euchre before though, but you don't use the joker in euchre at all.
Yeah, but I don't know. The question that I mean, to me, it seems like maybe it was at one point used in it and no longer.
Yeah, I mean,
Jack
euchre-
is used.
euchre is the game that uses the word like you this trumps this card more than
Yeah, yeah.
um
And And
I
they,
don't know that game. My only guess is Spades, but I feel like you guys know better than me.
I mean, again, I've played euchre, and like, yeah, no joke, you don't play the Joker, but like,
Oh, that could have been at some point a thing.
yeah, and again, the name, just the ers.
Yeah. You want to go with that?
Let's go with euchre.
We're gonna go with euchre.
Euchre is your final answer?
Correct. Yes.
Euchre is short for Euchrespiel in German, and the Euchre card became known as the Joker card. That is 100% correct for 300 points. And that is the end of our regular round. And so, Al, I know we have to tally up some votes, but before we do, please back me up on this one. We have a score of 1,350 for the Tragic School Bus.
Correct.
And we also have a score of 1,350 for the half-hour radio hour.
Correct.
Which means we are going to tally up some votes to see who won our audience vote to get an extra 200 points. And Al, do we have a tie-breaking audience vote?
We did, and what's funny is that it went back and forth, tied in the chat for quite some time, to the point where I had to ask for tiebreaker votes. And by one vote, Tragic School Bus took it.
Tragic School Bus, congratulations. You just got an additional 200 points, which means that currently you are in the lead with 1,550 points. But half-hour radio hour, it ain't over yet. We're going to give you one last shot at redemption as we walk into the final round. Now, you've all been here before and you know how this works, but for our audience at home, I'm going to explain how we do the final round. Now, in front of me, I have a trio of questions that are by no means easy, but they have a varying degree of difficulty. I have a 500-point, a 750-point, and a 1,000-point question. Now, half-hour radio hour, you're going to choose which of these three questions you want to answer for the final round question. If you get the question correct, you will get the allotted points, which means you will take the lead over the Tragic School Bus, and Tragic School Bus will then have to choose one of the remaining two questions to try to win back the game. So you have a decision to make. Do you want to go for the 500, the 750, or the 1,000-point question? Keep in mind, at this point, the harder of a question that you answer, the then harder of a question Tragic School Bus has to answer.
So I feel like if we go for the low one, they're stuck with two big, tougher questions.
Yeah, I think we should go with the highest one because this is a simulation.
Just because you're on a computer screen does not mean that this isn't real.
Prove it. Prove it. Y'all, this is the weirdest game of Sims we've ever played. Let's go with the highest one.
I say the middle. I say the middle.
Oh my
We have
god.
not been able to
We're
agree on anything this
Goldilocksing.
entire game.
We're Goldilocksing. Okay.
I feel like it's a good compromise to go on the middle.
I agree. I'd like to compromise with my answer as well.
Okay, a few more seconds and I am going to need an answer from you.
We'll go with the middle.
Let's go with the middle.
I love
We're going
it.
for the 750-point question, which means if you get this correct, you will take the lead, and Tragic School Bus will be forced to answer the 1,000-point question. So, half-hour radio hour, your question for potentially the lead, potentially the game. Are you ready?
No. Yes.
Well, I'm going to give it to you anyways. All right, as mentioned earlier in our last category, throughout the 16th and 17th century, playing cards would attribute the kings in each suit to a different historical ruler. Less obvious to most, however, is the supposed identity of the Queen of Hearts, who many believe is meant to portray this woman from Jewish antiquity who used seduction as a weapon. Who is the historical woman that I'm referring to?
Black Widow.
Did you both just say Black Widow?
Oh my god.
That was wild.
Jewish antiquity. Oh my god.
Fran Drescher. Right?
She's not that old.
Is she Jewish?
Not now.
I don't know anyone from Jewish antiquity.
Wow.
We make them hard for a reason when you get to the final round.
Yeah, we should have took the easy question, guys. Name an old Jewish lady.
Okay, Bubby.
I literally have no idea.
Well, you've got a few more seconds, so now's your opportunity to start
Old
throwing out
Jewish lady.
some
Can you read
best
can you
guesses.
read the question one more time, please?
Sure thing. The supposed identity of the Queen of Hearts, who many believe is meant to portray this woman from Jewish antiquity who used seduction as a weapon.
Can I phone my boyfriend?
Is
If
he
you
Jewish?
can do it in 5 seconds.
Okay, you guys
really?
talk.
I just got a phone call. I could have asked.
Wait, can you read the question one more time?
Nope. I cannot stall any longer. I need your best guess.
It's
Wasn't Jesus Jewish?
yeah, Jesus was Jewish. Mary Magdalene.
It's Bobby.
Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene.
I need a final. Mary Magdalene is your final
Yeah,
answer?
no idea if she's Jewish, but Mary Magdalene.
Do you know any old?
Unfortunately, Mary Magdalene is not correct. We are looking for Judith. She has her own book in the Old Testament, and it's the story of how she made a Assyrian general fall in love with her and then subsequently beheaded him. It's a
Wait, we could have won by just saying the name Judith.
yeah,
I could have just said any old Jewish name.
pretty much, yeah. But I don't think you all would have agreed on it. Is the problem? But
I
anyways,
don't think Jason
unfortunately,
knew. I don't think Jason
Half-hour
knew.
radio hour. Unfortunately, that means you didn't get the question, which means you didn't get the point, which means the Tragic School Bus is our big winner for the evening. And congratulations, Tim. Tragic School Bus, we are going to get to you in just a second. But first, half-hour radio hour. Always a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much again for joining us tonight. And before we say goodbye, would you please let our audience who is watching at home, let them know a little bit more about who you are, what you do, where they can find you. Please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. We are, we're a sketch radio podcast. You can find us anywhere that podcasts are distributed. Each week we have sketches. Sometimes we have musical acts. We have stand-up comedians. We're putting out episodes every Monday, and every listen is much appreciated. It is a lot of fun putting together, and I think it's a lot of fun to listen to. So hopefully we hear you listening to us.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much. And this brings us over to our big winner for the evening, the Tragic School Bus. Congratulations again. This was a very, very close game. So congratulations to both teams. But Tragic School Bus, you nudged ahead at the very last second. And we do not like to let our winners go home empty-handed. And I believe Love Expert is hanging around here somewhere, and she has got a prize in store for you. So please, Love Expert, if you could tell them what they've won.
Tragic School Bus, you have won Pinky Promise ankle bracelets.
Woo! Yeah.
Fantastic. What better way to cement a relationship than with an ankle bracelet? Great. Well, thank you so much, Love Expert, and thank you so much, Tragic School Bus. Congratulations on the win. And please, before we say goodbye to you as well, let our audience at home know where they can find you. I understand you have a show coming up in May that you'd like to tell us a little something about.
So yeah, you can find us all over the internet. We're on Facebook and YouTube at the Tragic School Bus and Instagram at Tragic School Bus Comedy. There's a few other of us. We're a super fun, goofy bunch. We do a show every month. Our next one is on May 2nd, and we're already working on the next few months. That's all I have to say about socials, but we're cool people, and you guys are cool people. This has been so great.
Well, it has been great. And again, thank you to both of our teams for coming on tonight. For those of you who have never seen our show before, once again, thank you so much for joining us. We really hope you had a good time. We are here every Tuesday night with new teams, new categories, new commercials, new everything. We're keeping it fresh for you. But in the meantime, you can find all of our social media and as well as our website, quarantinethegameshow.com. We are at Quarantine Game Show everywhere else. Please like us, follow us. Whatever it is that you like to do on social media, just give us a little bit of a nudge, and we appreciate everything that you do for us here. So we are going to say goodnight tonight, but we will see you soon. And as we say every night, take care. I'm sorry, I'm already forgetting the sign-off line. Stay safe, stay sane, and above all else, take care of each other. Thank you all so much. Have a fantastic night.
Ooh.